and happy Monday. It is the, what's today? The 30th. I'm getting ready to edit my April wrap-up. I just filmed it. I'm also getting ready to Skype with G as soon as this video is done because we're thinking about doing a collaboration in May, so we wanted to sit down and kind of Skype and brainstorm some ideas that we want to do, but you guys should look out for that because it's going to be a lot of fun. But I'm getting on here really quickly to let you guys know that I started the Paper Magician series, and I've heard a lot of good things about it, and since posting that I was reading that on Goodreads, a bunch of people have been like, oh my god, I love that series, so I'm really excited. Also, I'm almost done with the Fates Divide. I have like 40 pages left, I think, so I'm going to finish that tonight and hopefully check in with you guys later and let you know exactly what I thought of it. I definitely like Carve the Mark better, but in different ways, because I feel like Carve the Mark was, while political and very dark, is very different from this book, because this book is almost all political stuff, and I love political books, and I think Veronica did such a good job of bringing political to YA. I think it's done really well, but a lot of the characters are obviously younger and they're in power, and it's so cool because it's also very realistic to how younger adults would react to being in power. So I'm really loving that and I can't wait to finish it, but I wanted to check in with you guys real quickly before the sun goes down because it is 2:30 right now, so the sun's gonna go down eventually here soon. But I wanted to let you guys know what I'm thinking of the books that I'm reading. I really like the Paper Magician series. It's about these people who go to like a magic school and then they're bound to a sort of medium, whether that be plastic, metal, paper, and the girl who gets chosen for paper is kind of upset because she's like top of her class and no one really wants to work with paper anymore. It's like kind of like an archaic medium that people don't really use anymore, but I think it's going to end up really well. I'm also secretly hoping that there's a little bit of a love story, because the way they were describing the dude that she's working under, I was like, oh, he sounds like a hottie, so we'll see. But I'm going to get to editing this video and Skyping with G, and I'll check in with you guys tonight and let you know what I thought of the ending of the Fates Divide, and also what I'm thinking of the Paper Magician series. Also, one of my best friends is currently hanging out with my husband, and I'm wanting to get everything done so that I can go and hang out with them. They texted me, and they're at Chipotle, and I'm very upset because I would kill for Chipotle right now. But I love you guys, and I will check in with you guys a little bit later. Hello, we are here. The time has come. My makeup is off, my braids are out. We are going to be talking about what I thought of the Fates Divide. From the time you guys see this, my review will actually already be live on Goodreads, but I wanted to come on here and let you guys know, like, in person kind of what I thought. I thought Victoria did a really good job of keeping the characters pretty true to who they were. I thought she did a really good job of the world. You guys know I'm obsessed, fucking obsessed with the series, well, series, duology, whatever it is. I wish it was a series. I'll get to that here in a second. But I gave Carve the Mark, I think, 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5. I liked it a lot. Like, I really, really liked it. I liked all the different kinds of gifts that they have, essentially, current gifts as they're called. But this book, it really kind of annoyed me at times. I found myself daydreaming a lot because there are so many POVs, and there are so many POVs. There's actually one person with 2 POVs. Like, it just drove me insane. I like multiple POV books, but for some reason, it really got to me. In this book, I feel like it was jumping at really inconvenient times, at really bad times, and it was like pulling me out of the story. It's really hard to do that though. It's really hard to make it like a good multiple POV book. The only other thing that I didn't like that I'm gonna go over is I hated the ending. I thought the ending was so reaching and so rushed and just so weird. If you guys want the review, it's linked in my blog down below. I don't know if there's any reviews that'll go up before you guys see that one, but yeah, that's gonna be live if you guys want to check it out. But I mean, overall I liked it, but I ended up giving it 3 stars because I found it kind of hard to follow along. I did like the inclusion of politics in this book though. I thought it was done really well for a YA sci-fi book. I thought that was really enjoyable, and I thought that the characters, while they were in power, essentially a lot of them were, I feel like they were still realistic to their age. I don't like books where the main characters are YA and they're doing things that don't make sense. Like, they're just like, oh well, you know, that's the thing that I had with Six of Crows. They were doing a lot of stuff that I was just like, this doesn't make sense to how old you actually are. Or for example, in other books where where young adults are doing things in books and it just doesn't make sense. Like, the world just like makes allowances for the fact that these kids act like adults, like grown people. They were just doing things that don't make sense. And in this book, I feel like it was really true to that they were making realistic decisions for the ages that they were. So overall I liked it, but I didn't love it, and I ended up giving it 3 stars. It made up for a lot of things, but I think what brought it down is my enjoyment was pretty low. Not terrible, like you guys know I liked the book. I really fucking love this duology, but there's just times when it brought it down, especially the last bit of it. It was like 40 pages and it was like super rushed and it was fucking weird. But I wanted to talk to you guys about a new book that I got today. I actually went to the library and picked up a bunch of books. I picked up a bunch of comic books. I picked up Shudder 2, 3, and 4, and I picked up Nimona, and I picked up a Lumberjanes book that I've been wanting to read because I don't want to buy them right now, but I want to read them, so I got them from the library. And I know I have like a bajillion books I need to be reading, but I wanted to read them now because I'm in the mood to read some comics, something like not so heavy. I think after reading Invictus this past month and reading The Fates Divide and things like that, I just wanted to take a break. I've been wanting to read more contemporary, but I am not really in the mood for contemporary at the same time right now, so I'm gonna use a palette cleanser. I'm going to read comics, but I did pick up a new book that I've been pumped to read for a very long time. I actually saw this at Barnes & Noble and I was like, I don't know if I'm really gonna like this, but apparently the author is a bisexual writer, rock climber, and hiking enthusiast from Southern California. She is first-generation Asian American. She's passionate about working in communities of color and empowering youth to be inspired to write characters and stories of their own. Her debut novel, 7 Tears at High Tide, was published by Duet Books in 2015 and named a finalist in the Bisexual Books Award. It is Not Your Sidekick by C.B. Lee. I'm really excited to read this. This is obviously about an Asian main character, but she's born into a family of superheroes. Essentially, everybody has power. A lot of people in like their worlds do because it's following World War III, and people have a lot of power, but she doesn't seem to be exhibiting any of them. So it's kind of cool, but I think also the point of this, from what I'm gleaning from it, from what other people I've spoken to have thought about it, is it's like the Asian sidekick trope, blatant racism, whatever. This is like seeing past that, and I really, really like that. I'm really excited. I'm actually going to email them and see if I can, you know, get a list of the representation books they do. I want to look more into Duet Books and see maybe like, you know, if I can work with them or something. I don't know. I've been like going out on a limb recently and working with publishers and like asking for review copies, and I was like really afraid to do that because I didn't think that I deserved it. But I've actually been getting the books that I've been asking for, so I'm really excited for that. But that's gonna be my check-in for tonight. I'm actually gonna read a few comics and then probably go to bed, but I will check in with you guys tomorrow and let you know what I thought of them, because I'm not gonna do check-ins as I read them tonight because I'm pretty tired. It is almost 1 o'clock in the morning right now, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Hello and good morning. I am waiting for Only Human and A Court of Frost and Starlight to get delivered today. I'm not super excited about A Court of Frost and Starlight. I'm not like, you know, just, you know, like don't want to read it or whatever. I want to read it mostly because people will spoil it for me if I don't. But I really am in the mood to like just lay around today and read. I read a bunch of The Paper Magician last night because I was really tired and I didn't want to keep like sitting on the couch or sitting in my office because I was getting so tired that I thought I would fall asleep. So I went and laid down in bed at like 1:30 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And read a bunch of that on my Kindle because obviously I can do that in the dark because my husband was already in bed. But today I'm going to be reading the comics that I got from the library, and then I am going to be reading Not Your Sidekick and trying to finish that today. It's a pretty short book. I think it's only like about 300 pages or a little over 300 pages. I don't remember. But I'm going to show you guys the comics that I plan to read today as well. I don't know if I talked about these yesterday, but these are the comics that I got from the library and I want to read these today and then hopefully return them to the library tomorrow. First one I got is They're Not Like Us, which is, I guess, the way my husband told me about it, because he's the one who's like in the comics and is telling me about it. It's like X-Men, but instead of giving a shit about anybody, they only care about themselves, and apparently it's really, really good. And then the next one I got was Nimona. J.D. Ray Reads has spoken about this before. I think G may have spoken about it before. I'm sure other people have, but I really want to read this. I thought it was a super short book, but it's not. It's like a full length. So when I found this at the library, I was like, I thought this was short, but it's not. It's like a big comic. And then I have volume 2 of Shudder. You guys know how much I love Shudder, so I'm excited to have this. And then I got volume 3 of Shudder, which I'm equally as excited about because her roommate's back. I'm pretty sure that's her roommate. And we all know I loved her roommate. And then the next one, I love the cover of this. She looks so badass. is volume 4 of Shudder, so I really want to know what happens. I fucking love this comic book. And then the last one I got, I'm not sure if I needed to read the rest of these before I read any, like before reading this one, but I got this one because it sounded different, and I think it's kind of like removed from like the timeline because it's a crossover with Gotham, but it's Lumberjanes Gotham Academy. I really want to get into Lumberjanes, but this is the only one that they had at the library, so. But yeah, those are my plans for today, is just to read, and then like I said, I'm gonna keep reading Not Your Sidekick as well. But yeah, I'm gonna go make like a burrito on the couch and just bundle up in blankets and pillows and like probably put on HGTV because that's like my guilty pleasure. I love HGTV. And then just hang out and read and let some sun in my house. It's like 70 degrees out today, so I really want to just like open the windows. But I will why do I always say that? I will check in with you guys later as I am reading, and I might be going and getting coffee later. I don't know. Depends on what my husband wants to do. But if not, I'm just gonna sit on my couch. Like, I'm not even gonna brush my teeth. Like, I'm in full lazy mode today. But I really want to get all this reading done because there's so many good books that I want to read. And these comics are like a palate cleanser. So I'm gonna do that, but I will see you guys later tonight. Hello and happy Thursday. I'm sorry I haven't updated you guys between now and the last time I updated you. I actually have been really busy the last 3 days. I actually got all of my like YouTube stuff done on Monday, which is just ridiculous for me. But then one of my really good friends came over and we like went to the library and hung out. And then on Tuesday we did like adult stuff, like buy patio furniture and a bunch of other random shit that we had to do, like power wash our porch. Don't ask me, I don't know. My husband said we had to do it. So I've been doing stuff like that, and then all day yesterday we went like grocery shopping and I did like a bunch of meal prep stuff because I never talk about this, but I feel like it kind of ties into mental health. I was like a vegan for 3 years, and then for a couple years on and off after that. I was a vegetarian for a really long time, and then when my anxiety and my OCD got really bad about 2 years ago, I started eating meat again because a part of my anxiety is that I feel like it's not tied into like I'm afraid I'm gonna get fat or anything like that. Like, I don't think that that's necessarily like a bad thing to be in my mind. But I felt like because my anxiety and I have a breathing problem tied together, so when I would eat, I would feel like I couldn't breathe when I was eating. Like, I felt like my stomach got too full, so I wasn't eating enough, and I actually dropped, I think I dropped almost 50 pounds in about 3 months. So it was really bad. I've gained a little bit of it back, but my husband and I were really trying to focus on like me making sure I'm eating enough. So I took meat back into my diet because at that point I just wanted the comfort foods that I was normally eating, like that I grew up eating, because I knew I would want to eat them. I'd want to indulge in them more. I'd want to eat them more frequently. So yesterday I just spent a lot of time trying to come up with like vegetarian meal plans, and that's all I did yesterday. So I don't have any updates for you guys for what I did yesterday. So yeah, not a whole lot has happened. I wish I would have brought you guys to the library, but my friend that I was hanging out with, I didn't want to like put him on camera because I felt like that would be super awkward. But I do have a boatload of books that I got from the library, and I brought them all with me to work. Some of these are actually my books, but I wanted to show you guys what I brought. They're all comics. I think I said this in my last little clip that I did, that I want to do like a palette cleanser of comic books. So I do have a bunch of comic books with me, and I'm going to show you guys what I plan to read tonight. First one is the second volume of Shudder. I have been wanting to read this for a very long time. You guys know I absolutely love Shudder, and we unfortunately do not own them. And then I also got the third volume as well. I am really excited to see what happens because there's like new people on the front of it, and it looks kind of like old school war-esque. And then this one, I have the fifth one, or sorry, volume 4. And I really want to know what happens because she looks completely different now, and I'm like really intrigued. And on the cover of one of these, on the back of it, it actually shows her roommate, and her roommate was gone from the last one, from the first one, so I'm excited to see that she's back. And then I have volumes 2 and 3 of Saga. I actually own these, but I decided to bring them with me because I blow through comic books pretty quickly. So I wanted to have these like to read because I want to review them, honestly. And then I got this book. I think I spoke about this. I got Lumberjanes Gotham Academy. This is a cross between the DC universe with Gotham, obviously, and Lumberjanes. I've never read any Lumberjanes, so I'm hoping this doesn't ruin the series for me. We'll just have to find out tonight. I will let you guys know if this is something that you can read as a standalone, or if you have to read the entire series, or what. And then the next one I have is They're Not Like Us. This is supposedly, as my husband told me, it's an X-Men esque comic, but instead of them giving a shit about anybody else, they like only care about themselves. And then the last one I have to, I don't know if I'm gonna get to it because it's a lot bigger than I thought it was. It's Nimona. I think I said before JD Rereads is the one who turned me onto this, so we'll see if I like it or not, but it's quite big. It's got a lot of pages. I don't know if this is like the entire comic or what. I know it's a web comic, but I don't know if this is like the entire web comic. Or what they ended up doing. And then I did bring like a normal book with me because the comics that I have should only take me like 5 or 6 hours, and I actually work like a 10-hour shift today. So I did also bring Not Your Sidekick by C.B. Lee with me. I've been wanting to read this. I'm pretty sure this is like all of the representation you could want thrown into one book, but it's done really well. And I've seen this before at Barnes & Noble, but I didn't want to buy it because I wasn't sure if I was going to like it because it's like a teen book, but I don't know if it's like YA or if it's just straight teen. I've read a little bit of it. I'm on page 11, so I'm not that far at all, but we'll have to see what I think about it. I will let you guys know tonight when I get home, but I'm headed into work right now, so I have 8 books with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 comic books and then 9 with this book. So we'll see if I'm able to read any tonight. Hopefully I am. If not, I'm gonna probably stay up late because I don't work till 5 tomorrow. So I do have some time after work when I get home, which will be around 1:30, 2 o'clock. I do have some time to read then as well. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do today. I hope you guys are having a good start to your week, or by the time you guys see this, I hope you guys had a good week. It's been a pretty good week for me. It is currently 80 degrees out here, so it's been nice to be out in the sun, but also not nice because now I'm covered in sunscreen, and I hate wearing sunscreen, but you have to wear it. You absolutely have to. My husband's dad actually has skin cancer from sun exposure because he's worked outside his entire life, so I'm like all about sunscreen. He's totally fine, by the way. It's just, it runs in his family too. But so for me, like hearing that, like finding out about that, I've just been like, oh my God, I'm gonna pile on the sunscreen. So I'm like covered in sunscreen and I'm like sticky and I hate it. But other than that, I had a really good couple of days, and I hope you guys, like I said, had a good week as well. But I will see you guys in my check-in tonight. It'll be late and the lighting will be crappy, but at least I'll be checking in with you guys. So I'll see you guys later. So super quick update this morning because I got called into work a little bit early because we had a call off. So I'm already here. I'm like a couple hours early or whatever. But I wanted to update you guys. I think the last time I checked in with you guys, I was showing you all the comics that I brought with me to work yesterday. I got to read 3 of them. I read the Lumberjanes book, which by the way, you can read by itself. I don't think that you have to read the entire series, like, or be familiar at all with the girls in reading that. It made me really want to pick up more Gotham Academy and more of Lumberjanes, so I actually requested more of that from the library. I put those on hold. Apparently it's very popular. And then I read They're Not Like Us, which blew me away. It was so much cooler than I thought it was going to be. There's so many good like thoughts and feelings in it, and it's really dark and really messed up. There's like murder and, you know, they beat up on people and they're not good people at all. Although based on the ending of this one, I could foresee them becoming more good. The better people, that's what I'm trying to say. And then the last one I read was the second version of Shudder, the second edition of it, and I fall more and more in love with that comic. I don't know what it is about me, but I love the main character. I love the storyline. It got really intense. It was super cool. The cat, Cassius, he named himself in the second one, is my favorite character, which is so weird because he's like an animatronic cat clock, but he's badass. There's at one point in time where he's got like a dirty mouth, and I really love it. I definitely am enjoying the comic weekend that I'm having. I'm excited to finish the other ones that I have with me and then get to finishing Not Your Sidekick by C.B. Lee. I'm having such a good reading week, and I'm hoping that it carries on into the rest of the week. I also got our quarterly book club book. I got that, and I'll be doing an announcement for that on my channel, just like a separate video. I'll probably upload it on a day where I already upload. I'll just upload another video with that book in it to let you guys know which one we are reading so you can follow along. But yeah, I'm just having a really good reading week. I'm having a pretty good Friday, even though I had to start it a couple of hours early. But I hope you guys are also having a good weekend or had a good weekend. But I will check on you guys tonight when I get home. I promise I will do it tonight because I do not have to come in early tomorrow. I refuse. and I'll let you know how I'm feeling about all the books that I ended up reading tonight. I work with one of my best friends though, so I don't know how much reading I'm gonna get done because I'd rather just like talk to him sometimes because it makes the time go by a lot faster. And I think the Cavs play tonight, so I don't know if we're gonna be super busy, but I will try to read as much as I can because I'm really enjoying it. Obviously, I don't feel like I have to read because people feel like I have to read, but because I'm enjoying it so much, so yeah. And also I'm gonna throw in here, thank you for all the love on my video that I put up today. I've already gotten so many comments. I did a realistic ways to read more, and the first part of it was totally trolly, like it was all fake, and I don't think some people realized that it was fake. I think they genuinely thought that I meant the things that I was saying in the first part of that video, so I'm just like waiting for the backlash from that. But I loved making that video. I'm loving making videos right now, so if you guys haven't seen it, you should go watch it. It's really funny. It's totally dry humor, which is my humor, but people are really loving it, so yeah. Anyway, I will check in with you guys tonight when I get home, which will be around like 3:30 in the morning. Hello, and welcome to the floor of my office. I wanted to check in with you guys this morning on everything that I got to read yesterday, everything that I'm still currently reading. I read a bunch of books, but I'm also in the middle of reading Not Your Sidekick by C.P. Lee. I told you guys yesterday that I was going to try to read a lot of this. I'm about 25% of the way through, and I really like it because there's representation, Asian, gay, and something else. I feel like there's more representation, but I could be wrong. But I really, really like it. The main character, Jess, she's like kind of going through an identity crisis because she doesn't have a superpower. She's gay but doesn't want to join the gay alliance, and people call her a traitor for it. And she is Asian American but doesn't speak really any of the language. And they kind of go into like how she went to school with other Asians, and then they started like making fun of her and judging her. And it's actually really cool. Like, it's like a fluffy story, but it still has some like content in it, and I can really appreciate that. Sorry, I decided this would be a lot easier if I sat up. The next things that I read were actually 2 volumes of my favorite comic book, which I told you guys I was going to try to be reading. I read Shutter Volume 3, which was heartbreaking, and you get so many questions answered, but you are left with so many more questions. It was so ridiculous. And then, okay, so Volume 4, I immediately requested Volume 5 from the library because I could not handle the way that this ended at all. And then, of course, I read Sagas Volume 2 and 3, which does not disappoint. I absolutely love these. Saga Volume 2 was really heartbreaking. If you guys have read them, you know what happens in it. And Saga Volume 3 was also really heartbreaking. There's so much death in this comic book that I just, like, I couldn't handle it. I gave all of these, I think, 5 stars, so really liking them. And then I read Nimona, which I gave 3 out of 5 stars. It was really long, but I like the story dynamic. I like the whole who's actually the villain, who's actually the hero quality in this, and I love Nimona as a main character, but it just seemed a little lacking and I wasn't like as into it. And I've read so many great comic books over the last couple of days that I kind of felt like I was missing something. So those are the books that I have read or I'm currently reading over the last day, what I read yesterday. But then I did also get God Blind by Anna Stevens in the mail, and this is our quarterly book club pick, and I'm really excited to read this because the way it was Jade's choice, and I guess the way that it is marketed as is like it's got Game of Thrones levels of death, and I'm really interested in that because apparently I'm really messed up in the head, but I'm excited to read this. I'm like super pumped to read it. I'm actually probably going to start it soon because what happened last month is a bunch of us waited to read it and then didn't finish it. In my defense, I DNF'd the book, but I want to make sure that I've actually read it this month, so if I need to power through it, I can, and I want to, you know, have that option. But yeah, that's going to be my update for this morning. I will update you guys tonight when I get home. I'm sorry I didn't last night. I just came home and ate and immediately went to bed. But yeah, I will see you guys hopefully tonight. Can we all just agree that I'm the worst vlogger ever? See, I don't even know a word for it. Good morning. It is Sunday. It's going to be probably not my final check-in. I'll probably check in when I get home. I only have 1 book with me today though, so we'll see how that goes. I have been working as usual, always as usual. I'm working some pretty crazy hours. I also started getting chest pains and back pain last night, and it sent me like down a spiral pretty much, because I don't have health insurance, as I don't know if you guys know that, but I don't have health insurance. So when something happens, I'm constantly like worried about what it could be, because I don't have a doctor that I can go and see that can tell me what it is or it isn't. So yesterday was a very weird day, which is why I didn't update you guys when I got home, and I'm just gonna update you guys now. But yeah, so I just wasn't feeling very good, and I thought about calling off work this morning, but instead I am here 3 hours early, because that's just literally how my life is now, I guess. But there's some stuff going on in my personal life as well, which is kind of forcing me to be here a little bit more often than I would like to be. I'm not going to go in detail on that, because I honestly haven't told anybody what's really going on, and it's just kind of personal. But yeah, so I've been here a lot. It's been okay. I've still read a ton this week, so I feel good about it. I'm about to start East of West, hopefully tonight when I get home, or tomorrow. I have a lot of really cool things planned this weekend though, or this weekend, my weekend, Monday through Wednesday. So I don't know if I'm gonna have a lot of time to read. I really just, on my days off, I just try to spend time with people and do things during the week that I can't do because I'm able to read so much at work. And I'm okay with that. I'm going to see Morgan from Morgie Reads on Monday, and I haven't seen her in forever. So I'm really looking forward to that. I will probably edit this vlog when she is over and try to throw a little bit of her either in this one or the next one, but we're just going to go and get into trouble on Monday. But yeah, so when it comes to reading, yesterday I only read one thing, and that would have been Not Your Sidekick by C.B. Lee. I finished it. Now, I'm gonna give the book 4 stars, but I wanted to go over a couple of things with you guys. The story was really adorable. It is about a bi-female main character. Her name is Jess, and she's born into a family of superheroes, but she doesn't have any superhero abilities. And there's classes of superheroes. There's like A class, B class, C class. Her parents are C class, so they can use their powers like once a day, or if they use it they can use it for like a couple of hours. They have to recharge, and then it goes all the way up to A class, which are people who have the ability to use it, you know, a lot more often. I don't know if they can use it continuously, but it was really cute. I liked it. She doesn't have any superhero powers, and she has a crush on this girl. It's super cute, but she ends up working for the super villains that are her parents, like in the town that she lives in. Like her parents super villains, they're superheroes. Her parents super villains are like, you know, Mr. Mischief and Mistress Mischief, I think are their name. Master Mischief and Mistress Mischief. That's a tongue twister. Anyway, I thought it was really cool. She starts working with them, and she starts working with her crush. Now, I liked the storyline. I liked the thought of good and evil, like what's technically good, what's technically evil when it comes to the society that they live in. I thought it had a lot of really good like life lessons you could take away from it, as well as I really liked the rep in it. I thought it was done very well. I thought it was not, you know, like hard to read. I liked that there wasn't a whole lot of issues within their relationship either. It was so natural, and it just happened, and I genuinely liked it. So if you're looking for rep in a book that is cute and fun and easy to read, I think you'd really like it. It's a teen book. It's not a YA book, it's a teen book, and I'm starting to kind of see the difference between like being able to pick out what's middle grade, what's teen, what's YA, and what's adult. I'm starting to see the difference now, but I loved it. I'm going to give it 4 stars. The only reason I'm going to give it 4 stars instead of 5 is the dialogue was great, the writing was good. The only thing is there were a lot of instances where I was just like, really? Because more than once people almost let things slip. Like, she's not supposed to tell people that her parents are these superheroes, but she's like, oh, my you know, and then she says like Smasher and, you know, like her parents' superhero name. And her dad often almost let slip the school that he went to for the superhero academy. Like, there's just a lot of times where you'd be like, if you were having a normal conversation with somebody, you'd be like, I know what you were gonna say. And that happened so often. It was pretty repetitive. It got to the point where I wanted to start counting it because it was happening so often. But that was the only thing that I didn't like about it. Yes, it was slightly predictable for me. I pretty much saw most of it happening. But, well, I saw one of the big main points coming. The rest of the book was it was done pretty well, where I couldn't have guessed what was going to happen. But the big overall plot of it, I think, was done really well. There was like a the story with Abby, her crush, that was kind of predictable. I kind of knew that that was going to happen. You're going to pretty much know immediately going in what was going to happen. And I don't know, I still really liked it though. It's definitely a book that I would recommend to people if you're looking for something fun to read. But I am still currently reading The Black Prism. I read about 40 pages of that last night. I need to finish it because I want to move on to the next book. I want to finish this series. I've just been in a mood to read things that are easier to read, that are lighter to read, which is why I was reading comic books and other books instead. But I'm going to buckle down and try to finish it, and then that way I have free reign of whether to continue that series, or, which I want to, or I'm going to try to pick up something lighthearted. If you guys saw my try a chapter tag, I need to read Simon vs. Homo Sapiens Agenda as well, because that sounds adorable and perfect, and it's summertime, and I just want to be outside with, like, you know, like a drink, like a bubbly drink, not alcoholic because I don't drink alcohol, but just something like refreshing, and my refreshing book and being in the sun, and that sounds great to me. But yeah, that's it for my update this morning. I will update you guys tonight on what I'm currently thinking of The Black Prism. I already know that I'm liking it. Like I've told you guys, I really like it, so I don't know why. Am I the only person that does this? Like, I like this book, but I'm gonna set it down and not read it for like a month and a half. I just, like, I'm not confused because this is actually the second time I've read this book, so I know exactly what's going on. But yeah, I'm gonna get to doing that. But I will see you guys tonight when I get home, and I'll give you updates on what I'm thinking. Hey guys, final update for you today. It is technically Monday, but I didn't update you guys last night because I was in a lot of pain last night when I came home, so I just came home and immediately went to bed. But I wanted to update you guys this morning. Like I said, it is Monday technically, so I have a lot of things planned today, but that'll be in next week's vlog. I'm just popping in to say that thank you for watching the vlog this week, and I read a bunch of The Black Prism last night, and it was like one of those nights where you're like reading and everybody wants to interrupt you and talk to you, and you're just like, hey, I'm like trying to do something. I was at work, so I couldn't really be mad about it, but whatever. I'm really liking that story. A bunch of things that I had completely forgotten about were talked about in the little bit that I got done reading last night, and I want to finish the book. I'm over halfway through now, according to Goodreads, so I don't have a whole lot more of the book, and I'm really liking it, and I want to finish the series, so I am going to keep reading it, obviously. But yeah, so today I have a bunch of things planned, so I'm going to go ahead and get started on those. So thank you for watching the vlog, and I will see you guys in the next one.